Welcome everybody to episode 254 of the Healthy Habit Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Dayan of Healthy Habit Medical Center, and thanks for joining us here today. If you're not subscribed yet, just click subscribe on the YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon right when you hit subscribe. You can also hit the little bell, and then you'll get notifications to your phone and emails potentially as well whenever we release a new episode. Keeps you in the loop here with Team Healthy Habit, especially here through the immune system winter, fall months. This is the time to pay attention and stay in the loop. So we're talking with Matt Steiner here today, who's talked with us before, like on episode 179, released back in March. I think there was one more after that, and then here today. And Matt's worked in the natural products industry as a sales and marketing executive for over 30 years. He's been a guest on numerous radio and talk shows and given lectures to a variety of audiences within the trade industry. Matt obtained a Bachelor's of Science degree from the Carlson Business School of Management from the University of Minnesota, where he's tuning in here from today, all the way from Minnesota. He currently serves as Vice President of the Consumer Division for the amazing company Immune Health Basics, which is a company dedicated to improving immune system health. That's their focus, that's their target. And we've talked with Matt before on Wellmune, which we'll highlight here today for all the new listeners, which is the immune system trainer, which he'll help us learn about here today. Matt, welcome back.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you having me on again. It's great to be here.
I'm excited to dive into this one. We talked about that immune system training idea, like in past episodes. We're not just trying to increase the number of white blood cells necessarily, but we want to improve the cells that we already have. We want to make them more trained up and ready to tackle any invaders that are coming to weaken our immune system. So since your last appearance, Matt, how has immune system or immune health basics evolved? Anything new going on there with market positioning, the mission, or anything you want to educate us just on immune health basics? Sure. Since we always have new listeners tuning in, so give us a little bird's eye view there.
Well, like you mentioned, this is the cold and flu season. I mean, it's the start of it. And it's obviously, if you look at the data that's out there, and I've been reading about it in the last week, obviously everybody gets, people have their choices whether they're going to get the flu shot or not. Again, it's up to yourself. And, I typically get it every year, but, the flu strain or flu shot, protects you with that specific strain that they think is going to be prevalent through this year. So they obviously do their research and so forth, and they, look at what strains are out there, and you've got influenza A, B, C, and D, and typically it's the A and B that, the flu shot covers. And again, that's what, and you've got, what is it now? I'm looking at my notes here, H1N1 and then H3N2. Right. The two of the strains that fall under, the A, B influenza. Now, what I've been reading, and again, they look at the data in the southern hemisphere of the United States and look at Australia and so forth, because that's what typically comes our way. And they look at it, and again, as you know, everything can change in the dime. And, again, if you look at these strains, they mutate, they change drastically, and that's what happened is recently. And this is a prediction that the cold and flu season is going to be worse this year, is because of the H3N3, it has mutated, and the mutations, there's 7 different strains that they have found right now that's mutated, and the shot doesn't cover those specific strains. But again, I don't want to tell people not to get the shot, because the shot can help for symptoms and so forth. And again, I get the shot every year and so forth. But that's one thing nice about our product, is because I think, as we talked about before, is, Wellmune, we recently discovered in the last year that it talks about immunity, or actually how the mechanism works, and talked about trained immunity. And what basically trained immunity is training your innate immune cells. And how does that differ from, other products? And we believe, again, that this is one of the only product in the world that has this research that shows that our ingredient, the Wellmune in Immune Health Basics, trains your innate immune cells. And how that is beneficial in the cold and flu season is, as we talked about before, you've got two sides of your immune system. You've got the acquired, and you've got the innate. And the innate is where your body is what you're born with. It protects you from day one. And it it typically is your, macrophage, neutrophils, natural killer cells. And then your adaptive part of your immune system is really part of your immune system that is learned, and that's the reason why you get a flu shot. You get a flu shot because they give you a non-active form of that virus or that strain that they think is prevalent this year. And that's what's going to protect you. It takes, you learn that. And that's how when you're exposed to different pathogenic challenges as well, your system will learn it. And then when you come in contact with it, boom, it's ready to respond. What's unique about our system is our system works both with your innate and acquired part of your immune system. But with your innate part of your immune system, it basically has memory on these cells, which again is what our research has proved. And we don't need, and with what's nice about this, if these strains have changed, basically it doesn't have to be learned. Your body doesn't have to learn this new strain, because with the innate part of your immune system, it's exposing it to your body. Your body with your innate immune cells are going to recognize it, they're going to remember it, and they're going to communicate that to the other cells, and they're going to build an immune response to that type of strain. So if that strain changes over the time or mutates to a different strain, your body with immune health basics is going to recognize that. And these innate immune cells are going to learn it, they're going to memorize it, or memory on it, and they're going to tell your immune system to go out and kill it. So that's what's unique about our product, is that we don't care what that pathogenic challenge is. And if that flu strain changes, with our product, it's going to recognize it, and it's going to adapt to it, and it's going to build an immune response to it. And again, it takes the largest army of cells that you have out there, the neutrophil cells, which we're really talking about. We're talking about neutrophils, we're talking about cytokines and those types of cells. And it's basically going to create memory so it can adapt to these different strains, and you'll have benefit with it.
That's a great overview, my friend. I appreciate that. That's super important. And we're going to dive even into more specifics to build upon what you just said right there. So I want to remind everyone, all the customers in the store that have been shopping there for many years, about the legend, Stan, the demo man, who's up front. He set this up with Matt and us here, connected us here to be on the podcast. So thank you, Stan. He will be at Healthy Habit demoing immune health basics here, everything that we're discussing here today with Matt Steiner. And you'll have samples, literature, and everyday low prices on immune health basics products. Come talk to Stan, the demo man, here at Healthy Habit, Tuesday through Saturday. Fellow Minnesota guy as well. So
that's right.
If you didn't know, Stan used to own like 7 to 8 different health food stores there in Minnesota before coming over here to Phoenix. For all the listeners here and the customers, Stan knows what he's talking about when it comes to natural health. So you kind of hinted at it there a little bit, Matt, but maybe this will be kind of a recap. But you presented immune health basics as not your ordinary immune booster. What's the big key takeaway there that separates it from the immune supplement space? It's a very crowded space. It's 2026 now at the time of people listening to this. What's the key then separator from other immune products?
Well, the key is really the mechanism of how it works. It's very unique. I mean, again, you think of it as it's a natural product, and it basically takes your immune system and makes it much more effective and efficient as far as killing pathogenic challenges. If you look at now, even the pharmaceutical industry, they talk about immunotherapies like Keytruda and stuff, and it's really now it has changed. It's taking your natural immune system and reacting to these pathogenic challenges. So it makes your immune system, what we call it, smarter, faster, and stronger. It makes it, and we have the studies to show it that it increases the killing mechanism and the effectiveness of this anywhere from 2 to 5 times more effective. And what's unique about our product is a number of things. First of all, we have the clinical studies behind it. And again, if you look at you can go to our website, Immune Health Basics, you can see the clinical studies. We've got over a dozen, clinical studies on over 200, or I think it's 2,300 people, and it includes children, adults, and elderly. That we've done all kinds of different studies, upper respiratory symptoms, colds and flus. We've done variety of different other things. But if you look at it, it's a very effective product, because one thing it does is it takes the largest army of immune cells that you have in your system, called macrophage, neutrophils, and natural killer cells, and the main mechanism is the neutrophil cell. And the neutrophil cells account for, probably anywhere about 50 to 60% of your immune cells, your white blood cells.
Right.
And again, as I think I talked to you before, an average human, depends if you're, male or female, has, let's say, 40 trillion, immune cells. Well, we have done studies that we have shown that it basically, and again, if you make the numbers simple, say you have, 20, million neutrophil cells. We have done studies, phagocytosis studies that measures the appetite of these studies or these cells, and we have shown that it basically engages half of those. You're taking 10 trillion cells and going out there and making them much more effective and efficient, because a lot of times you come down with challenges because the immune system isn't quick enough to respond, or just has an immune army. So we take the largest immune army that you have, and we engage it to go out and kill pathogenic challenges. That's one of the main points besides clinical studies.
Yeah.
The third is, with our unique mechanism, we don't care what that pathogenic challenge is. It could be viral, it could be bacterial, it could be parasitic. It doesn't matter. We're just basically priming these immune cells to go out and do their job better, and we don't care what the pathogenic challenge is. So it's non-specific. And then the next is really our safety aspect of it. Again, this is a very safe product to take. I mean, we're not increasing the number of cells you have. We're not overstimulating your immune system. I mean, if the pathogenic challenge isn't there, it's going to put these cells in a resting position. So we're basically taking your natural immune cells and making them much more effective and efficient. So, we've got the clinical research. You're taking the largest army of cells. It's very safe to take. You really can't overstimulate your immune system on it. People who have sensitivities to yeast or anything like that, it's not going to affect them at all. And again, now this new research talks about trained immunity. So we're training these innate immune cells, again, to react much more faster and effective against these pathogenic challenges.
That's a great breakdown, Matt. Appreciate you. If you go to immunehealthbasics.com, and then just hit research up here at the top right next to blog, research, and then boom, it will take you to this page here, research categories, where it breaks it up into older adults, childhood illness, marathon, exercise stress, med students, cold and flu, and much more. There's like a lifestyle stress 28-day situation there, allergies as well. So it hits on multiple aspects of the immune system. And there is research to back this Wellmune ingredient in there, which is a registered trademark patented form of beta-glucan yeast. So you want to definitely check that out. Tons of different leading research institutions that are collaborating here in this page that you can find their published studies: University of Montana, Miami Research Center, National Institute of Health, University of Houston as well, University of Louisville, and much more. So you definitely want to check that out for all the research buffs out there that want to go deeper. So thank you for introducing that, and you gave us a little highlight of the company overall, what separates Immune Health Basics as not your ordinary immune booster. So let's dive really deep now into that core ingredient, the beta-glucan Wellmune, which is a proprietary beta-glucan strain. Comes in multiple strengths. The 125, 250, and 500 milligram options are available. And
the kids as well.
Oh, yeah, right. There's the kids version as well. So where should somebody start? Is this safe to take as a kind of a way to, even before you're sick, to throughout the year to get ready for the fall, winter months? Tell us about that. Where should somebody start?
Yeah, again, as we talked about before, you look at a lot of research out there, and I think I mentioned to you before, I'm reading a book called Super Agers by Eric Topol. Okay. And there's a lot of other articles out there that talk about, the key to immune health. The key to longevity is really strengthening your immune system. And, in a lot of the younger generation, if you want to call them, the millennials or Gen X or whatever, they're really starting to take notice of this because, again, and there's a lot of research out there too that link immune health to longevity. So, it's great to take this during the cold and flu season, which is, great for us. But, it's typically when you sell a lot of immune products is the cold and flu season. But you also have to think about long term. So we started shifting over and say, you want to take this, the rest of your life. I mean, period. Because longevity is linked to immune health, period. I mean, it's a proven fact. And again, a long time ago, they talked about, all the major diseases out there. It's a link to your genetic makeup. But it's not. They proved it wrong. It's really linked to the environment you're in, you know, your lifestyle, whether you smoke, drink, your pollution, all these other things are related to it. So anything you can do to strengthen your immune system, you're going to be better off in the end in the cold and flu season, as well as longevity. So, but if we talk about, the cold and flu season, and back to your question, as far as, who should take it or when you should take it. I mean,
Right.
we try to sell it as a prophylactic product. You're going to take it every single day because, right now it's the cold and flu season. If you look at, I just was in a meeting, and one of my colleagues has a sinus infection, and of course he's touching every handle and everything you have in the office and so forth. He's seen a doctor today, but he's got to be on antibiotics. But if you look at the air you breathe, the things you touch, and again, you touch everything. It's Christmas time. You're going to go and to whatever Target or Walmart or whatever, and you're going to be touching everything. So you know we like to sell our product as you take it, as a preventative type product. And again, I'm a testimony for this. I've been taking it for 30 plus years, and I can't even think of the last time I've had a cold.
Wow.
But again, if you come down with a cold and you can still take our product, because it only takes, literally, I mean, we've done studies now with the trained immunity. It only takes hours for these cells to recognize our product and recognize these foreign challenges to go out and kill it. So you can still get benefit taking it, and it can shorten the duration and severity of these types of things you come down with, like colds and flus and those types of things. But again, we try to sell it as a preventative, but then we also try to sell it as you're going to take this the rest of your life. And again, the safety aspect of it, we've done all kinds of safety studies on it. It's a completely safe product to take every single day. It's not going to overstimulate your immune system. It's not going to have any counterindications, any type of medications you're taking it out there. And I think, as you know, we had a pharmaceutical side of our business that we took this drug stages that they're still working on. And again, they went through phase 1, 2, and 3 clinical studies.
Yeah.
It's completely safe to take. It's, people who have cancer studies. I mean, we've had thousands and thousands of people that have taken it with severe type of like cancers and those types of things. So, we try to sell it as a preventative type thing, but if people only want to take it when they come down with, a sickness, it's still going to be beneficial. But again, we live in, like I said, where the strains are changing dramatically and so forth. And anytime you can take a product, it's going to be beneficial in the end, because it's probably going to lower the symptoms or lower the duration of those types of, things you come down with, like colds and flus and so forth.
100%. Yeah, and as I mentioned, we have the 125, the 250 milligram, as well as the 500 milligram. How does somebody know how to navigate that if they're looking at all three of those in front of them? Obviously, the children's is children's. They have the basic, the IHB, the Immune Health Basics Children's Chewable, which is 25 milligrams. There's also the kids soft chews, which comes in a 30 pack. There's the 30 soft chews, and that even includes the A, D3, E, and K2. But where would somebody start with those three main options there? How do you navigate that?
So if you look at it, our product, and we've done a lot of studies on it, it's really, it's based on 1 milligram per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should take about 200 milligrams. Most all of our human studies on adults are done with 250, because it probably covers, majority of people, that are 250 pounds or less. So it's really by weight. So the kids product is more of like a 25 to 35 milligram product, because that's, again, we look at, people from kids from 2 years and up. And then the 125 are kind of teens and so forth. The 250 is, most adults and so forth. And the 500, which, is our best-selling product, we've done a couple studies, and you get some better results with the 500, but you're not like doubling your response. You're not going from 2 to 4, but you still get a better response. And that's our best-selling product. You got to buy a 2-month supply of it. But if you look at the price point per month, it's about the same price as a 250 30. So our 500s are our best-selling price. But back to your question, it's really based on weight. So 1 milligram per pound of body weight. Most adults just take the 250. The kids will be 125 or the 25. But again, it's a safe product to take. If you take too much, you're not going to have an overreaction of it at all. It's just expensive fiber that's going to go through your system. So, I mean, it's not like products out there like, as we talked about echinacea before. Echinacea increases the number of white blood cells that you have,
Right.
but that's not good over a long period or even a short period of time. You don't want to do that. We're not overstimulating your immune system whatsoever. And I think as we talked before, we always heard our product help with certain types of autoimmune studies or autoimmune challenges. And we did a ragweed study, a while back and had great results where we decreased INO symptoms, severity, and duration by anywhere from 30 to 130%. So
Wow.
again, it's not going to overstimulate your immune system and cause it to run rampant. Matter of fact, we've shown in that ragweed study, it actually helps balance your immune system versus overstimulate it.
Interesting. Yeah, and if you have any one piece of advice for clinicians recommending immune support supplements right now, what would that look like? I'm sure you've consulted or have
Sure.
some experience with other practitioners like myself. A lot of
Yeah.
physicians will shop at our store or tune into this podcast. We'll have future
Mm-hmm.
physicians on the show as well
Yeah.
going forward, and they want to maybe check out this episode. What would you, any advice for clinicians that come off the top
You
of the head
know,
there?
and there's a lot of naturopaths, nutritionists, and chiropractors that sell our product and
Okay,
resell it.
there we go.
And the biggest thing is it's unique as far as mechanism. It activates the largest population of immune cells, but really what it does, it works. I mean, period. I mean, if you look at every single clinical study that we've done, we've had positive results where we decrease upper respiratory symptoms anywhere from 25 to 68%. So it's a product that actually works, and it's going to, prove benefits. I mean, it's going to, make your customers feel better. And again, we've done some psychological studies as well, and it shows that it helps with stress and those type of things, tension, and those types of things. But it's a product that works. It's a product that naturally, takes your immune system and, just like I said, makes it smarter, faster, and stronger to react to different pathogenic challenges. So that's kind of, it's a product that actually works. It's unique, and it's more like an immunotherapy. I mean, it just naturally takes your immune cells that you have currently in your system, just gets them to perform better.
Important. Thank you for that, Matt. It's crazy how
Mm-hmm.
fast time goes by. It's already been 23 minutes, but
Wow. It goes
what's
by
one?
quick.
Yeah, exactly. So we have time for maybe one or two more questions, but what's one case? Well, obviously, won't give any specifics of names or
Sure.
anything, identifiers, but that surprised you maybe recently or in the last 12
Yeah,
months
I
or
think we had a guy
anything.
that had
Yeah.
COPD one time. His name was Don. He was down in Vegas, and it was unique. I mean, we've had a lot of people similar symptoms and so forth with asthma and so forth, but that was kind of unique. Um, we He called us, and he was taking the 500 milligram product, and he literally called. We have a testimonial from him someplace, but he said it was the first ingredient that took, and this is include pharmaceutical and supplements, but it was the first ingredient or product he took, including pharmaceuticals, that took his symptoms away.
Wow.
And I haven't talked to him in years, but and it's different. COPD is an autoimmune type challenge, but we've had people with asthma and those types of things. We had a study, and I can't remember it was a long time ago. It was a study that was done out east. It was a study done on AIDS patients, and they realized that there was 8 people in this group that outperformed everybody. And what happened is the mother of one of these patients was taking our product, was giving it to her son, and the other people got on board as well, and they just
Right.
outperformed everybody else in the study. So it's
Interesting.
those types of things, it just
Right.
it naturally works. So
Incredible. And that's going to bring us pretty much to the end of our segment here with Matt Steiner, representing Immune Health Basics. We highlighted Wellmune, the core ingredient inside of the Immune Health Basics products, IHB products, which is proven safe and effective to take even long term. Obviously, consult with your physician if you're working with a doctor. Just get
sure.
their approval. We're not here giving any medical advice. But strong immune support with Wellmune is a takeaway here, a natural ingredient clinically proven to strengthen the immune system by activating the largest population of immune cells, macrophages, neutrophils, natural killer cells, not necessarily increasing their number, but training them up, making them work even better, which are the body's first line of
Mm-hmm.
defense when you need it most. Matt, what would you leave us with here today? And I'll give people the link, immunehealthbasics.com, to check out the
Yeah,
research?
like I mentioned to you,
Yeah.
longevity. I mean, there's a lot of good clinical research lately or studies done on longevity. So, if you want to stay healthy and you want to live longer, strengthen your immune system. And we think, Immune Health Basics is one of the best immune products on the market, period.
Appreciate your time as always, all the way from Minnesota, making the time. I know you're busy,
Sounds great. I
and we set
appreciate your
this
time
up.
as well.
Thank you, my friend, for your time, and we'll talk
Sounds
to you
great.
in the new year.
Sounds super. Take care. See ya.
ImmuneHealthBasics.com, everybody. ImmuneHealthBasics.com.